Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I've made a few British icons pretty recently, so today I thought I'd add to the list in the form of Blackadder, and I'll be using the character from the second series, Blackadder 2, because, well, he's most handsome then really, isn't he? So yeah, that's my inspiration, so let's go and see how I get on. So as ever, I'm going to start by just cleaning down my work surface, just with a wet wipe, and I just include this really just to show the importance of cleaning your workspace before you get started with polymer clay, because it often means the difference between a neat piece of work and something, you know, that's a little frustratingly covered in debris. So yeah, it's always important to clean your work surface. So I'm going to start by making Blackadder's head, or Rowan Atkinson's head, as he of course plays the character. And I was just really drawn to making Blackadder really because I've made a few British characters, as I mentioned earlier, over recent months. So I've made Doctor Who and the characters from Nuts in May, as well as Fleabag and Arabella from I May Destroy You. So it felt only fitting to add little Blackadder to the mix. And I'm sure I'll work on a few others as time goes on, but it's really a case of so many models to make and so little time really. My list of people that I'd like to make grows all the time, so it's, yeah, just really getting time to get round to making them really. There's a few pop stars that I'd like to make in the near future as well, so yeah, maybe I'll shift theme for a little while, we'll see. So now I've made Blackadder's heads, I'm going to move on to the base now. So I've got a nice shade of grey here. I think it's dolphin grey actually, from Fimo Professional. And I'll just give it a good old branding with my clay Disarray stamp. So as mentioned, I decided to work with Blackadder 2 because there's 4 different series where there's different kind of iterations of Blackadder, so I went for this one really because I really like his outfit, and as I said, he's probably at his most handsome during this particular series. So it's set during the reign of Queen Elizabeth. It's a shame I didn't keep my Queen Elizabeth model for a little longer really to photograph them together, but you know, it wasn't based on Miranda Richardson, it was based on the Queen herself, so it perhaps wouldn't have looked the best anyway. But he plays Lord Edmund Blackadder, and the character in the second series is supposed to be the great grandson of the original Blackadder from the first series, obviously, so that's why I suspect they gave him kind of a different personality in the second season. He's a lot more kind of smart and savvy, as opposed to the more kind of, well, dim-witted version from the first season really. So that's kind of interesting to see the progression there. I'm desperately trying not to mention traffic noise in this video because yeah, it's pretty noisy at moments, but it just happens all the time on my channel, so I shall move on. And yeah, just finishing off his trousers here, or his legs really. And at this point I spent a little more time away from the camera actually working on Blackadder's face, really because I couldn't really get a likeness going on, so it just kind of kept looking like David Guest which was quite strange. So yeah, this shows the progression. I don't think it's a great likeness, but you know, that happens with my work. Sometimes, you know, I nail the likeness, other times not so much. It's really because I work with coloured polymer clay, so it doesn't allow you the same amount of opportunities to go back and correct bits that you're not kind of happy with, because I have to bake my models a few times along the way. And it's kind of weird that he ended up looking like David Guest for a little while, because I made Liza Minnelli last week, of course, from Cabaret, when she played Sally Bowles. So yeah, she was married to David for a while, so perhaps I was channeling her husband, who knows. Whenever I think about David Guest, actually, I think about the series of Big Brother, or Celebrity Big Brother, that he was on with Angie Bowie, and gosh, it was the most complicated example ever of mistaken identity, really, because Angie was told about the death of David Bowie while she was on Celebrity Big Brother here in the UK, and she then proceeded to tell one of her housemates. But because David Guest was also on that particular series, the housemates, I think her name was Tiffany, just thought she was talking about David Guest, really. So she was in absolute hysterics, thinking that her housemates had died. And I think David Guest has actually passed on in real life now. But yeah, it was a very complicated watch, I have to say. So this piece, as you can imagine, is all about the details. So I'm really kind of focusing on the theme of black, red and bronze here, or golds. And it's kind of reminiscent of when I made King Henry VIII a little while ago on my channel, so you might be interested in tracking that one down as well. And that will attach to the body like so. If you're new to my channel, I'm Lizzie and I'm a polymer clay artist and illustrator, and I make weekly videos about my polymer clay sculptures, or polymer portraits as I like to call them, and I do occasional tutorials, vlogs and watch me work videos as well more recently. So if you're interested in polymer clay and you like what you see, by all means go and hit the subscribe button, and remember to hit the bell for notifications as well. I should really think about adding a few more vlogs to my channel actually. It's been a little while since I made one, so yeah, hopefully I'll figure one out. It's absolutely boiling here in the studio today. I think it's supposed to be hot for a day or two now, but we've just been hit by a load of thunder flies today. You know, the tiny, tiny little black flies. So I've had to close all the windows, so it's, yeah, pretty hot. So hopefully it will cool down for next week, because polymer clay really does not like the heat, as I'm sure you'll be aware if you're a polymer clay artist as well. So I was looking up some facts about Rowan Atkinson while I was making this video. I have to say the most interesting facts I found out was when he was involved in a flight in, was it 2000 or 2001? And he was on a private flight, I think, in Africa, and his pilot fainted while they were flying. I mean, can you imagine? I hate flying anyway, but by crikey, I don't know what I'd do with myself. But being a complete hero, he basically just took control of the flight. I mean, what on earth? How would you even know what to do? And it allowed the sufficient time for the pilot to come round from fainting, so he was able to safely land the plane. But oh gosh, I couldn't quite believe it really. It's on his Wikipedia page, so you know, I suspect it's true, but it doesn't instill me with any more confidence in flying, I have to say. So now you'll see I've moved on to Blackadder's hair, so I have to ensure that it's nice and curly. And this took a little bit of time really. I find curly hair quite difficult to do because it can easily look like a great big mess really if you're not careful, so it just takes a little time just to get something that you're happy with. So now I'm going to bake him for the final time, and I'll just add a tiny bit of Sculpey glaze here just to his finery. And here he is, all done. And as I say, I'm not hugely convinced I nailed his likeness, but all in all, I think it was a good experience. I really enjoyed making the model because, you know, I like to add in a bit of detail. So yep, he's been definitely worth doing. Hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, I'm going to leave a playlist below for my Polymer portrait collection, so the videos are all very similar in theme to this one, so hope you enjoy those too. And I'll be back soon with another video, so in the meantime, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.